December 7, 1941. The calm of the Hawaiian morning shattered in an instant. Hundreds of Japanese planes roared across the sky above Pearl Harbor. Battleships erupted in flames. Airfields were set ablaze. Smoke and fire painted the horizon with chaos. It was one of the darkest days in U.S. military history. But today, let's change one thing. On a quiet tarmac, hidden under a dusty tarp, sits a secret no one in 1941 could comprehend. A machine far beyond its time. The F-22 Raptor, a fighter jet born decades in the future, dropped into a battle it was never meant for. So, what happens when the most advanced warplane on Earth meets one of history's deadliest surprise attacks? Can it stop the raid, or is it just one jet against hundreds? Here's what just appeared in 1941. A jet capable of cruising at Mach 1.5 without afterburners, over 1,100 miles per hour, faster than anything that existed in this era. Nearly invisible to radar, armed to the teeth, built for dogfights, stealth strikes, and total aerial dominance. Its weapons: 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles, radar-guided, capable of striking targets over 50 miles away, nearly 100 in advanced variants. 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders, heat-seeking for close combat. 1 M61A2 Vulcan cannon, 20mm 6 barrels, 480 rounds, firing up to 100 rounds per second. Its radar can track over 20 targets at once and fire before the enemy even knows it's there. It climbs faster, turns sharper, flies higher, outmatches every plane in 1941. But it isn't invincible. No ground crew, no spare parts, no modern fuel. In 1941, no one knows how to refuel it, repair it, or even understand its systems. The Raptor has one chance. One. After that, it's done. Now what is it up against? The Japanese strike force, 353 aircraft split into two waves, Mitsubishi A6M-0s, fast and agile for their time, but topping out at 330 mm, Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers and D-3A dive bombers, barely reaching 230 mm, less than 370 km/h. No radar, no computers, no guided weapons. Every shot, every maneuver performed manually. Formation flying, speed, and coordination were their weapons. The first wave approaches. 183 planes slicing low over the Pacific, engines screaming over the waves. The F-22 roars to life. It climbs to altitude within seconds, radar sweeping the horizon. Targets lock in before any human eye notices. Missiles fire. The first AMRAAM streaks silently across the sky. Tight formations vanish mid-flight. Panic erupts. Bombers scatter. Fighters spin in confusion. By the time the Japanese realize something is wrong, a dozen planes are already gone. They've never seen anything like this, and they still don't see the jet. The second wave is inbound. 170 planes, same path, same deadly intent. Alarms blare. Soldiers scramble to man anti-aircraft guns. But above, one Raptor dominates the skies, changing the battle completely. Still, it's only one jet. The enemy numbers are overwhelming. Every second, the Raptor must spin, climb, dive, intercept. Some bombers sneak through low, some fighters evade. The Raptor wins in the air, but even it has limits. Fuel becomes critical. The F-22 can cruise over 1,600 nautical miles with extra tanks. But dogfighting burns fuel rapidly. After 30-40 minutes of combat, it must land, or go down. Landing isn't a solution. The jet runs on JP-8 fuel, non-existent in 1941. Even if it touches down safely, there is no way to refuel or rearm. Missiles, non-existent. Cannon rounds, limited. Systems, complex and fragile. A single failure could end its mission. Meanwhile, Japanese logistics are perfect. Aircraft launch from nearby carriers, stocked with fuel, bombs, and trained deck crews. They can refuel, rearm, and relaunch dozens of planes in hours. The Raptor? One mission, one chance. The clock is ticking. Could it stop the attack? Pearl Harbor wasn't just an air battle. Battleships, airfields, infrastructure, all targets of a coordinated strike. In reality, 8 battleships were sunk or damaged. 188 aircraft destroyed on the ground, 159 damaged, and over 2,400 Americans lost their lives. The F-22 could change the scale but not erase it. A dozen enemy planes downed, enough to disrupt a wave, enough to save some ships, some lives. But there are simply too many planes, too many angles, too many targets. Even flawless precision cannot be everywhere at once. The Japanese experience chaos. Pilots watch formation after formation disappear before their eyes. Their plan begins to unravel. And the Americans? They see something they cannot explain. A jet no one has ever seen, raining destruction from above. Morale surges. Panic turns to hope. The war begins differently. One jet does not stop history, but it changes it. Now imagine the dogfights. Zeros dive at bombers. The Raptor swings above, missiles tracking in seconds. Vulcan cannon unleashes rounds with impossible speed. Bombers vaporize mid-air, engines shredded, wings torn. Pilots on the ground scramble anti-aircraft guns. Some fire at shadows, others at flashes. Chaos reigns. Explosions rock the harbor. Smoke and fire obscure vision. The jet moves faster than the eye can track. In minutes, waves are disrupted. Japanese formations scatter, bombs miss their marks, ships dodge slightly, lives are saved. The tide isn't turned completely, but the devastation is reduced. Fuel dwindles. Ammunition runs low. One final sortie. The Raptor engages what remains. The deck crews on Japanese carriers watch in horror as planes disappear in seconds. Confusion spreads. Commanders struggle to regroup. But time runs out. The jet touches down, systems warning. No fuel, no ammo, no backup. Its mission, heroic, terrifying, almost impossible, is complete. Pearl Harbor remains attacked, but history is altered. Ships damaged but not sunk. Aircraft partially destroyed, but some survive. Lives spared. The shock, the awe, the terror, all magnified. And the bigger picture? The U.S. morale is bolstered. News spreads of a miracle fighter, one machine in a sea of chaos, changing the course of battle. The Japanese are forced to rethink, pause, and retreat. One jet did not stop the war, but it changed its course. This is where human ingenuity meets technology decades ahead of its time. One pilot, one jet, and the limits of physics collide with the chaos of history. Would a modern warplane in 1941 have been enough to save Pearl Harbor completely? No. Could it reduce casualties, disrupt the attack, and inspire hope? Absolutely. The F-22 Raptor in 1941, a single, unstoppable storm in the sky, yet bound by human limits. Fuel, ammunition, maintenance, one machine against hundreds. History would remember the attack, but the story of one jet fighting above the harbor would become legend. This is the cinematic answer. Pearl Harbor, attacked as in history, but a modern fighter changed the scale, the chaos, and the story of survival.